Ladies and gentlemen, this is Wrestling Card Weekly, and like a Pat McAfee match, it's happening again whether you like it or not. My name's Brennan, and these hush puppies beside me are Jeffrey and Nick. We're here every Wednesday, and thank you all for watching. If you could brother us with a like, comment, or subscribe, we'd mighty appreciate it. Fellas, what's doing?
That was beautiful. You didn't stumble this week.
Thank you. I did it all by myself.
And we sounded like real YouTubers there too.
Yeah, that was professional as shit.
Yeah,
now it's downhill.
We did remember until the very end of the episode to ask someone to watch the video, let alone like or subscribe it.
Right? No, very good. I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Man,
fantastic.
I'm wonderful. I'm feeling good. Had a good weekend with the boys. 3 of us went to a card show in Jonesboro this weekend. That was fun as shit. Shouts out to Brian at Wrestling Card Inc. We spent like the entire time just hanging out with him and looking at his absolutely insane PC.
It was by far. I've told that story to every friend I know that is either a card collector or a wrestling collector.
Yeah.
Like he just kept pulling out stuff. He's a signed rookie guy. And he just kept pulling out signed rookie after signed rookie. And I was just, me and Brennan and Jeffrey were all just sitting there like.
Yeah. Jeffrey, when we first went over there, Jeffrey was at another table and I walked back to him and I was like, pay for your shit and get over here.
Yeah.
You've got to see this.
Yeah.
Seeing a collection like that really made me want to get more into vintage. Maybe not buy because, once again, I'm poor, but just learn about it. Like that's so much cool stuff.
Yeah, I agree. What would you classify as quote unquote vintage in wrestling? I think we've talked about this before.
Me, I would say like it's got to be pre-90s for sure.
Yeah.
After that, it gets whatever, but I would say at least mid 80s or earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike Nick, I actually like magazine cards. I think they're pretty cool. I consider magazine cards.
I don't hate magazine cards.
Yeah, the wrestling All Stars cards are just so great looking. They're so sick.
Yeah.
And, good Lord, that diamond stud.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I was talking about how I wanted a diamond stud in it's a 91 Chromie. It's Scott Hall's first appearance. I just want one in a PSA 7 or higher, just raw for a decent price. And he was like, oh, like this? And he pulls out the auto one. And I just I almost walked out the door. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
You in.
That was so
one
much
day.
fun. Shouts out to Brian.
We had a great time, man. That was a lot of fun.
So what's the news in the card world?
Ooh, we have a lot of news. I didn't realize it until I started compiling the news earlier today, but this is our first podcast since the industry summit. So we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about. If I could get my notes to pop up. Just bam.
Yeah, it's like a whole lot of news with not a lot of information, but to kind of get us ready for the next couple of sets.
I mean, we're going to have stuff. That 100 card, I know these are just mock-ups, but that 100 card is ridiculously cool.
Yeah,
that 100 card looks so dope.
I hope that image actually becomes
and that Steph is really cool too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's Steph's that's her Mania 32 image.
Yeah.
Oh, it is, yeah.
I can never pull them out of the top of my head like that. Y'all are so good at that.
I'm pretty sure we were both at that Mania. I think that's why.
Possible.
I was not at that Mania, but I was. God, that one went so long. I was hammered drunk by the time Triple H and Roman wrestled. I was wildly and could not believe how long the match was going. That was a classic. We gave Triple H the main event match.
Triple H gave Triple H the main event.
Yeah.
But no, I'm excited for both of them to be signing again. Because obviously their Panini stuff never really came out.
No, that's gonna be super cool. And plus, like, I know we've had to talk about value of your collection before and value of autographs and things of the sort. But as more come out, they'll get cheaper and more. They will never be cheap, but they'll be more affordable for collectors.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm looking forward to. So they showed us these 5 sets: Chrome, which we've seen with Sapphire with it, Royalty, Finest, Exalted, and Universe. Universe is coming out next, we believe, right?
I would bet on that. Yeah.
That's what I've heard, like June sometime. I'm curious to see what Exalted is. Finest will be fun. Royalty is going to be the big boy.
So is this, from what I've read, is this the entirety of the 2025 release? Like,
No, I doubt it, because remember they've got to do the Cactus Jack set that we're talking about doing, like the standalone
because I mean
one.
we're in May now, so
Yeah.
5 months in, and 4 of those on that photo have not been released yet. So unless they're cranking them out monthly,
Dude, we're about to get monthly.
I mean, considering the way shit's selling, I would start cranking things out monthly.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope they do, but I just
with
I can't see
how
it.
in the zone they are in constantly. I mean, all they're talking about is profit. They'd be insane not to just send everything to the printer, brother.
Yeah.
You're signing everything you can possibly sign.
I'm just curious to see. I'm curious to see what the price point's going to be on everything.
Yeah, especially because with Universe, Exalted, and Royalty, these are all brand new releases for wrestling. So, we don't even know what they'll look like yet, or how they'll be packed out. Anything. So,
are any of them expected to be comparable to like Topps other products? Like in the way that like a Universe would be, kind of like a Galactic.
I don't know.
Or is it just kind of up in the air?
I think we have to wait and see. Like, I want to say Universe or Exalted. One of them kind of gives like a fully loaded vibe.
Universe does.
Yeah. Obviously, we've seen Finest, but I don't know. I'm still waiting on Dynasty as well.
Yeah, Dynasty could be a thing.
And so, I think Royalty will be their version of like Immaculate almost.
Yeah.
At least for this year.
My favorite thing about, sorry guys, I was just I had a computer pop up. We're gonna get ring worn gear. Game used is actually gonna be game used again.
That's exciting.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, we had a bit too long of a stretch of it being like, this is a Scott Hall ring use. It's like, Scott Hall died 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's
I'm not favorite, so certain that he wore that shirt.
The flawless dual laundry tag patch with Hall and Nash has a copyright dated 2023 for the Hall patch. Only problem, of course, being
2021.
He was already dead. So I'm excited to get actual ring worn stuff. I hope the cards commemorate on the back what event it's from.
That would be ideal. And Topps has been known to do that. Obviously, I mean, with their I forget what it's called in baseball, but they do the hologram stickers that you can look up what game the patch was used for. And I know in some previous Topps releases for wrestling back in like 2016, 2017, they would have like the date of the event, or it'd be like SummerSlam. Yeah. This was used at SummerSlam 2015 at this stadium, whatever. So, but that was usually Matt relics. But with gear, that would be so cool.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see either just a little subscript on the back that says like what you said. This was used. I've got a Panini card, a basketball card that's got a Christmas Day patch, right? It says this was used December 25th, 2014 in a game, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'd like to either see that or even go back older school, back to like some of the early 2000s Leaf stuff, Donruss stuff, and have an image of the gear on the back. Like, here's the piece we cut it from, right?
Sure.
So one of those, either one of those would be sufficient, I think.
I don't remember which one of you I was talking to, but it may have been you, Nick. But did y'all see the kind of breakdown of some of the things they were going to be using in these cards that they had already talked about?
I don't think so.
So
Maybe?
I want to say it was in royalty. I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
I did see a obviously the Cody, they were going to use part of his boot from WrestleMania 40. There was a Dude Love tie-dye, one of his tie-dye shirts they had gotten. Mick Foley, one of his referee shirts. Nice. I know there was some ladders, some other stuff. So it's going to be like cool, hopefully meaningful stuff from like meaningful moments.
I mean, how cool would it be if they? I mean, they've got stuff upon stuff upon stuff in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Not that I'm advocating for the destruction of history, but
yeah, I mean they do.
You can snip a little corner off a cell every once in a while.
Yeah, and some of the wrestlers, like I know, someone had like brought up about the Cody thing, and like obviously, like he was cool with giving his boot away for it or whatever. I think stuff like that will be really cool. And that one of them, I want to say that they were using the Fiend mask, like a piece in one.
That would be insane.
I did see that. It's on the internet. It has to be true. So, right. But hopefully stuff like that would take it through the roof.
Yeah, a piece of a Fiend mask would be. I mean, that'd
be crazy.
You'd pay whatever you could for that.
Yeah. So here's some mock-ups. Some of the products. I love the Tiffy with the Solo logo.
I was about to say, I always thought Solo Sikoa was a handsome fella, but my God, what a glow up!
There is Royalty will have the WrestleMania patch autos. Nice. 101s, of course. That's going to be absolutely wild. I'm saving up all of my money. And then Universe, like we said, it kind of reminds me of Fully Loaded. Lots of relics and lots of on-card autos is what it seems like.
And for everyone that's looking at these, they are mock-ups. Yes. So they will...
Those WrestleMania patches are a lot smaller than that.
Yeah, and the Liv Morgan's not going to have a rookie card logo on there. Obviously, Tiffany.
Realize that.
Yeah, Tiffany Stratton is not going to have a Solo Sikoa patch that says Solo Sikoa.
Put your ones up.
These are just kind of like thrown out there to show like a general basis, and what you should take away is obviously just the general like used relics, the WrestleMania patches, the on-card autos, and obviously in that Royalty you see a rookie card logo, so maybe we're going to start getting some rookie cards because we didn't get any in Chrome. So
right. And then debut patches, this seems to signify that Logan Paul is signed with Topps? Question mark.
That's going to be
insanity.
Yeah. That's going to be a divisive thing.
I mean, the autos are going to sell like ridiculous. Are going to be ridiculous.
He has the opportunity to do the funniest thing, which is buy his own card and then wear it around his necklace like that Charizard.
Oh man. Okay, so whoever pulls his WrestleMania WrestleMania
patch, to him, just message him. I have a really good idea.
Yeah,
give it to you. It's not going to be cheap, but it's not going to be crazy.
No, but so that's going to be crazy. I mean, that's wild. And obviously, here are the debut patches. I don't think we really got any info on how they're going to be inserted, what product they're going to be inserted in, unlike the WrestleMania ones, which are going to be in Royalty. But we'll see what happens with them. But I'm excited. Lots of big, great news. They sent Tiffy there. I thought that was an awesome sign that they sent somebody like Tiffy there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was great. Some of the autos that came out of there from the like exclusives at the Industry Summit were pretty cool. I think I saw like a nice Rey Mysterio one, obviously the Tiffy one.
I saw right before this, I saw a Bianca.
Oh yeah, I did see a Bianca too. So, those look really cool too. They're kind of like the Panini, the National like VIP type stuff.
But they look like they were on. Were they on card?
They looked like it.
Yeah.
From what I remember seeing, but I know I'm excited for all of those.
Sweet.
Just ready to get that new product.
Right, dude. I'm so antsy. I don't want to. I've stopped buying Chrome because I'm just I've opened too much of it. Now I'm just like, I need some fix.
Yeah, I need over at your house for a break.
Yeah, right.
Video. Yeah, I'm.
Well, they do have the AEW boxes up there we can grab.
Yeah, I want those.
So,
I'm paid on the 10th, baby.
All right,
Jeffrey. Industry sales. How are things looking out there?
So I just found some really interesting individual sales this week that I wanted to show. So for the first time in the history of our podcast, the Rock was not the top selling card of the week and was actually not even in the top 5 this week. But the number 1 sale of the week was Travis Scott. So
does it count?
He's sticking around, but crazy that
training with Booker T.
First year in WrestleMania, then yeah.
So the Travis Scott Cactus Jack,
that's big money, right?
Black
there.
Ray Wave Auto out of 10
that's real
was
money.
the top selling card in the week for $3,800.
Whoops, sorry,
no, you're fine. $3,800 for the Travis Scott. That's a pretty good number.
That's a good chunk of change.
Which I didn't even send it in here, but the number 2 selling card of the week was the Stone Cold 1-of-1 Superfractor from this year's Chrome. So the Travis Scott out of 10 outsold the Stone Cold Super.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you guys were saying, Travis Scott has ridiculous crossover appeal that I don't personally get, but people, I mean, the results bear themselves out.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the resale, if you just look at the resale of his shoes, I mean, it can kind of be expected.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I personally love the Travis Scott Nikes, and brother, I ain't getting them. You can't. They got bots in those waiting rooms, and I'm not paying resale.
But this card does it. Going back to the Logan Paul thing, this is $3,800 for a Travis Scott. What do you think Logan Paul's going to do? Like being an actual wrestler as well.
That's a great question. And
some Zoomer with dad's credit card will pay $5,000 plus.
Yeah, like I honestly think his first WWE autos, whether they're just like base or not even necessarily like something super rare, which I'm sure his will probably be short printed anyways, but they're gonna go for big money. I can see it, but especially saying this.
Oh, I ain't buying them, so none of my concern.
Well, if you pull one, it'll be good for you.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Then the rest, I just got some pretty interesting sales. This was the 1985 Chrome throwbacks, the Superfractor for Roddy Piper, sold for $1,600.
Yeah, that's way more than I would ever expect.
Yeah, and it sold at auction on eBay. I just thought that was a big number for an insert.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it's a 1-of-1. It's Roddy Piper, but that's a big number for that. Yep. I feel like the longer we've gone on with Chrome, people have really gravitated to some of these inserts, even though most people were like putting them so far down when they first got the pictures and stuff.
I mean, like the case hits are still holding plenty of value.
I don't think they're reaching like
the Manias are.
Yeah, they're not reaching the Panini case hit value levels.
No,
per se.
The Helix are.
But these inserts like are staying like fairly pricey, even for like especially the women's division inserts, which everyone was talking so much shit about when we got the things like, oh, why do you need a women's division? We already had a whole release called women's division. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing? Those things are moving like base all the way up. So these inserts are they're holding on pretty well.
It's a tale as old as time. The internet's gonna be mad at something, and then the market's gonna tell you that it was popular all along.
Yeah. And then so there were 2 more I wanted to show, and it's kind of a comparison. But so the that was the Stephanie Vacour Black Ray Wave out of 10.
I love that.
Sold
card.
for $2,000.
I want that card. I wanted that card so bad.
Yeah.
That was a good sale.
I mean, I bowed out long before it got to $2,000.
No, of course.
Yeah,
that is such a sweet card.
the cactus, those are still holding up like crazy.
Yeah.
Even the base. I want to say I saw I don't remember who it was. It was a low mid Carter earlier today. It sold for like 65, and I was like, I can't even remember their name at this point. But
I got my Fatu for my mea culpa. The base cards are not as bad as I was shit talking them.
Oh, on the Cactus Jacks.
They're cooler in person. I still don't love them, but they look a lot. They look a lot better in person now that I have the one in hand. And accidentally bought another one the other night, so
accidentally.
I'm just a phony,
It's the way it happens.
Yeah, his kid grabbed his phone, bid on it 14 different times.
Yeah, my non-existent child.
Yeah.
They do look great.
I have replied to Fortnite feedback on like ducking out of games and been like, my kid, man. Can you do something for me?
Yeah, gotta go.
That's what kids are for. They're a great built-in excuse to get out of stuff.
Yeah.
And then you wanted to compare it to this Roman, right?
Yeah. So both of these sold for $2,000. So you've got the Steph Black Ray Wave out of 10, and then a 2020 Finest Red Auto of Roman out of 5, PSA 9. So I mean, it's just the market on them. Like it's crazy to me, and I kind of just wanted to see like long term, obviously, like just PC aside, which one would you rather hold at the same price right there?
PC aside,
yeah, like just
the reigns, obviously.
Yeah, it's just the market just dictates so much based on the popularity, especially of women wrestlers, where their numbers just go crazy.
Yeah, see, I almost want to say, if I were to get it in my hands right now and think about market as opposed to PC, my thought would be Vicaire, mostly because Roman's not going to be in a lot of people's eyes for a while. He's got scheduled time off throughout the year. Vicaire seems to be, she's coming up to the main roster soon, and like you were saying, the market for women wrestlers is pretty good. I would honestly go with the Stephanie.
Personally, I would go Roman.
Roman's the safer bet. Roman's
for sure.
Safer bet.
For sure, and this is semi early on in his career, not a rookie or anything, obviously, but out of 5 autograph. But my worry about, which we'll get into this a little more later with one of the questions we got this week, but my worry about some of the like female cards that people pay very high up front or in the moment is like if you look at a Trish Stratus or Lita or Tori Wilson auto right now.
Yeah.
Under $100 all day, every day.
Yeah, it's like any hype. And
those are like the goats. Like,
yeah,
people that like you could name any women's wrestler right now, besides people that may have like a very small handful of autos. And like at one point they probably went super expensive, but now there's just so many, and I guess the next hot thing, whatever, and they drop.
Hype drives the market. It always has. It always will. Hype, and we've gotten a lot more hype beast type attention in wrestling lately.
Yeah.
The Travis Scott obviously doesn't. It depends whether you like the hype beast attention or not.
It's so funny how much like all of the card stuff, mirrors, streetwear, mirrors sneakers, mirrors things like that. It's people are just. People are overall weird critters that just want to get their hands on stuff.
Yeah, it seems like it. Ooh, shiny.
Everyone's just varmint.
That's the whole thing that gets this podcast going, though. So we'll accept it.
Yeah. And what am I saying? I'm wearing a fucking Supreme shirt right now. I'm not judging anybody. I'm one of them too.
No, dude. If I had the money to buy that Stephanie Vicaire, I would have bought it. So
I sold half of my Supreme collection, years ago, like 5 years ago, and bought a truck with it.
Yeah.
I don't. No judgment here.
Yeah.
I'm a collector too.
Speaking of collecting, did y'all pick anything up this week?
Oh, Jeffrey with the segue.
Did you see that? Yeah.
Man, damn.
Yeah, real YouTubers. Real YouTubers.
Look at us. God, rolling strong on episode 7.
I picked up something for my personal collection, thanks to a certain little fella by the name of Nick. We were at the show, and brother looked at me and he was like, "Hey, I got you a little something," and it's a Matt Relic Chuck Taylor.
One of my personal favorite wrestlers of all time.
One of my favorites too. Shouts out to Big Dust. It is from a Chicago Dynamite where he and Rocky Romero wrestled the Young Bucks.
Nice.
And man, just makes me just look at that face. Oh, look at that beautiful face.
I want his 2016. I want his. I think it's 2016 Bola that he's in.
Oh yeah. Dude, I love
his first appearance. I need to pick up a set. I don't know.
Kentucky Gentleman, Pride of Philadelphia.
We'll let Jeffrey go last because Jeffrey's got to explain his card.
What'd you get, Nick?
I had a lot of pickups this week, so
yeah, I was about to say I watched y'all pick up a lot of shit.
We should change the name of this segment to "What Did Nick Buy?" and just go with that.
I went with 3. Son of a...
He was the one that bought
you bought the Roman?
Yeah. The Roxanne on a 10 for the Rainbows I'm working on.
Nice.
Pretty happy to pick that up. This is my second favorite of the week. The Chris Hero 2016 PWG Bola autographed. It's got a high spot sticker on the top of it.
You had told me that you bought that. I didn't realize it was signed. That's
yeah. Yeah,
Shouts out to Chris Hero.
Chris Hero. I talk about Chuck Taylor being one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Chris Hero is my favorite independent wrestler. He's top 3 for me. I love Hero. He's so good. And his run during this time was just
monumental.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Is that the same set as the Aleister Black rookie we looked at last week?
I believe so. There's a lot of first appearances in 2016.
Yeah, the Tommy End doing the tope.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You might dig into that set sometime soon because it's.
Dude, I'll be honest. I wasn't aware it existed until our epised last week, and I want this set.
So they're expensive. We'll talk about it. But for those of you that want more info on it, I learned a bunch of stuff going to WrestlingTradingCards.com and looking it up. Shout out to them. That's a great site with lots of checklists. I spend time on there just looking at old checklists and stuff. But they have a lot of good info on this set. I think they have an article on the site specifically about this set. So then my number 1 pickup. This is my first Zebra ever.
Nice.
And it's a rookie. Bird Lady. I love the Bird Lady, man. I love Laura Valkyria. She's so cool. So I thought this popped up, Zebra, my first Zebra, her rookie card. I got a good deal on it. I couldn't pass it up.
Hell yeah.
So I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed that pickup this week. I'm hooked on the Zebras now. They're so cool.
Did she have a ringside in that year? Do you know?
I do not believe so.
I love the ringside, but I like the premieres a lot that year too.
Yeah. Jeffrey?
Well, mine was because I'm the Pander champ, of course. So, the WrestleMania predictions challenge took that one too. So these lovely fellas here of Nick and Brennan bought me a PC card, which I didn't know. This nice Miz and John Morrison transcended at a 25 dual auto. It's my first Miz dual auto, my first John Morrison auto. Yeah. I don't have any duels. My first Morrison auto, all because Nick pays attention, and I said, I kind of want to get some of the Miz's partners.
You did. One of the first times we ever talked, you were like, I think, I collect the Miz, I kind of want to get some of his partners now. I've kind of gotten everything I want. I was like, all right.
Yep. So, and Transcendent's so nice.
That card is just,
I love that.
Really cool.
Yeah. Nick.
So,
Nick
shout out to you guys.
Yeah, I was lucky to
texted
find
me about Nick texted me about a week and a half ago and was like, "You need to Venmo me $20 now. You're gonna like this card. We're getting it for Jeffrey." And I was like, "Okay, cool, done. Here you go."
He called me and was like, "Hey, so your Miz card will be here soon." He goes, "Oh, damn it!" And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Well, I've already said too much." I was like, "Well, I assumed it was probably a Miz card when you said you were getting me a card." And then he was like, "Oh, but I want to know if you already have it." He's like, "I'm not going to tell you what year, but I'm going to tell you like." It's out of 25, and then he goes, "Oh, damn it, no, okay, I swear to God, if you go look on Card Ladder, I will kill you."
I was like, "Oh no!"
He just kept giving me more and more, and I was like, "But I never did. I didn't go look." So I was actually surprised.
Awesome. Yeah, that is how Nick gives gifts. He accidentally gives something a little too far. And it's like, I swear, you know what, brother? For you, I'm not looking at anything. I want to know what it is. I won't figure it out.
Yeah. So, but no, I appreciate that. That was my one pickup of the week. I didn't get anything in the mail yet. Still waiting on some stuff. But that was it for this week.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You want to get into the Twitter questions?
That is what I was just about to ask. Did we get into Twitter questions?
And I haven't seen these, so I'm fresh off the rip.
Have you seen them yet, Brennan?
No, I have not. Aside from JFIS asking us to stop.
Shout out, Mike. We love you.
Shut up, bro. that popped us all.
I have no idea what yield rates on tech stocks, and I don't know. It's over my head.
But we did get three wrestling related questions.
Okay.
And they're all pretty thought provoking, I think. And since y'all don't know them, I think this will be good.
Okay.
The first one comes from Matt. He said, "Sell, hold, keep. Which 3 wrestlers are you picking? Also, which inserts, autos, etc." So I'm gonna throw a small wrench in that and throw buy in there as well.
Okay.
Because sell, hold, keep. So
let me go first. I've got some interesting ones.
Okay.
Sell The Rock.
Okay.
Hear me out. He's going to have more autos eventually. He's going to get more cards with tops. He obviously is very spotty on what he wants to do, and nobody really knows. I mean, by his lack of appearance at WrestleMania, it's like, he's going to hold value, but he's not going to continue rising. I think I think he's peak market right now. Sell it. Keep it. I think. It may be my bias of my PC, but I think you keep anything Jacob Fatu right now.
Yeah.
Now I think he did say hold and keep. So as in like maybe hold to sell later versus keep for PC. If you want to differentiate,
I would hold to sell later Fatu for sure, because I think that man's a world champion in 2 years.
Yeah.
And we've seen, and I think he's the next big thing.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar. They're a little different.
Wait, what? Oh,
the next big thing. God, you call yourself a wrestling fan.
Buying Brock Lesnar might not be the end of the world. If we're going to talk about segueing to that. If I had to buy right now, I would buy. Ooh, that's interesting. I would buy. We're just going to go PC again. I'd buy Lyra Valkyria. I want to see if Becky can make her in this feud.
Yeah.
And see if she can. Well, her stuff's already kind of high, but I want to see if it can kind of take the next step. If you're looking for somebody lower to buy, I don't know. Who do I enjoy in NXT these days? Ethan Page, maybe? I don't know.
That's not a bad one.
Yeah. I can't really think of who's like low end that I think is gonna get a push this year.
Yeah,
I'd probably buying. No, he's already pretty pricey. That's a tough one. The buy one is a tough one.
Yeah,
like if you're looking at it like a prospecting angle, like we would with baseball, the buy's definitely tough. I just can't. I mean, everybody that's hot is already priced so high.
Yeah. That's the prospecting game.
Maybe buy Cody if his prices start to drop.
His prices aren't dropping.
I don't think so either, but that's the best I can come up with.
What about you, Brennan?
Cell, you guys might not agree with me, but I can see in my head, I can see how the next year is going to go. Cell Cena. People are going to get tired of this shit in about 2 or 3 months. Look, Cena as a heel is pretty dope. Main event of WrestleMania notwithstanding. However, he's just kind of doing the standard you people thing, and he's going to hold that title hostage until the next Mania.
Yeah,
that's just a fact, and people are going to get pissed off about it. I know there's like a pretty dedicated Cena fan base, but I would say right now is probably the hottest that Cena cards are going to be until he's retired.
I think that's reasonable.
I would think he would be a good sell.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
As far as hold goes, Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is, I mean, they've got him with Heyman, they've got him with Rollins. He's, I mean, the dude's dare I say, a genetic freak, and he's not normal.
He's the next generation. I mean, we're going to get Breaker versus Fatu in about 3 years at Mania.
Yeah,
and it's going to be awesome.
He's on that Fatu level of, you look at that guy, that is a fucking megastar.
Yeah, machine.
Yeah, and they're building them right now. It's the same playbook as Lesnar in 2002.
Or Orton with Evolution, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to be big, you know. God willing, nothing weird happens. As far as buy, I would say, and I've had this thought for a while because he's kind of been floundering a little bit. Correction, he's been floundering from what I've seen. He's had titles. He seems to be doing pretty well. I don't watch a lot of NXT. However, I think I cannot remember what his new name is, but Brian Pillman Jr. Lexus King. The way that dude's facial hair be the new Yeet in 2 years. In 2 years, it's going to be the new Yeet. He's going to get memed into absolute stardom. Yeah, and it ain't gonna last. But he's a pretty good wrestler. He seems to be developing. Meme champs. I don't know. We have yet to see. I think Seth just got done wrestling Jey Uso, so I don't even know if he still has a title right now. I'd be willing to bet he does, and there was some fuckery at the end. But no, Lexus King, I think, has interesting potential in the future. Just because people love silly shit, and that man's geometry, the things they do to his head, once the mainstream sees it, they're gonna love that shit. The cookout memes are gonna go so hard.
What can we do to get you to shave your beard like that?
Oh, dog! If it was when it was low enough, I've thought about it. I did one time walk into the living room after, like, I was shaving, and I sometimes just do a little silly thing and walk in the living room to try to make my wife cry. Works sometimes. She used to do that with a mustache, but then I tricked her into having a mustache for 5 years. But one time, I brought it down to a Kevin Federline pencil beard, and I may as well have killed both of the dogs. I've never seen a more horrified woman in my entire life.
I'm surprised you didn't get divorce papers right after.
I mean, the look on her face, it could have happened. If I didn't march back into that bathroom and shave it off, if that was a permanent thing, I'd be left with a dining room table and my laptop.
Jeffrey, you got picks?
Yeah, so for me, it's so funny. Mine are going to be almost opposite some of yours. My hold is Cena.
Really?
I've actually picked up a decent amount of Cena. I just think Cena's been around so long, his market hasn't really fluctuated with his 17th title win and him being back on TV. Like his market's just what it is. But I think once he retires and WWE goes to the greatest lengths they've ever gone for a Hall of Fame induction and a retirement ceremony, and he's going to turn face before the inevitable final bell. I think once people realize he's really done, it's going to set in a little bit and his stuff's going to start creeping up. And then I think it's going to hold like the older Hogan stuff does. And maybe not everything of his, but like his nicer stuff, definitely his rookies, his other stuff.
Yeah,
like
I think they're going
to, his rookies, his autos, especially the on-card stuff. I can see down the line those kind of just like cementing themselves where they belong, because he's always been kind of undervalued to me in the hobby market, at least. So I would say hold Cena.
I could see that if you're looking at it through a long enough timeline.
And that's how I interpreted the question. Like yours makes sense, like sell it now, because like while I said his market's not moving, like it's up from right before he came back, obviously, and like he's had higher sales lately than he has in the past year or two. But I think long term, I think he's a good hold. I mean, a lot of people's goat, a lot of this generation that grew up on him they're going to be coming into money at this time too. Yeah. So,
well, is he your buy or your hold?
I'm holding Cena.
Okay.
My buys.
But who are you selling?
Who am I selling? Sell Jacob Fatu.
You motherfucker.
You son of a bitch.
Look, I agree with you. Fatu is a monster. He's got it. Like, he's that dude. But
yeah, he is that dude.
He's only had WWE cards for like a year. That's why the prices are what they are.
There's been 4 releases.
Yeah.
4 releases.
And that's why his prices are what they are. When more starts coming out, more autos start coming in. It's the same scenario as everybody else.
Yeah.
It's going to not necessarily water it down, but it's going to water it down.
Yeah.
So, I disagree. While his out of 175 autos are selling for 100 to 150, get rid of them.
Yeah.
I capitalize.
I could see him sticking. What do you think would be a bottom point on that? I could see him bottoming at like 80.
It honestly depends on.
I think his auto prices stay high for a while. I think the hype is there enough.
I think they will, but I mean, think about it. Like you can buy Shawn Michaels autos out of less than 100 for like $80.
Yeah, and I can buy a Ted Williams auto cheaper than I can buy an Ellie De La Cruz auto. The market's not rational.
But I don't see it. But all the, like in baseball, all those super high end rookies that never pan out, that you end up with a $5 auto. I'm not saying that's what Fatu will be, but I'm saying he doesn't have the rookie auto and WWE cards and just I don't know. I think his market's kind of peak for where it is now, not necessarily based on the value of him as a wrestler, but on the value of scarcity of his WWE stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it going up until he gets.
Yeah, and I mean he's going to have those. Like there's going to be the jumps, and then there's going to be the fall back down to earth. Like we saw it with LA Knight, older wrestler, not super mega push, but like popularity wise, and his stuff went insane. And then now it's still a very good market for LA Knight stuff, but it's not where it was. And I think that's the same kind of situation we'll get in with Fatu.
That's fair.
Buy wise, like you said earlier, it's really hard with everybody immediately pops off and their stuff goes through the roof.
Right. It's like it's the problem you run into when you're trying to flip cards in other sports, right?
Yeah.
The hype is already priced in.
It is. So you have to kind of get lucky almost.
Yeah, dude in AAA, whose card, let's say card is selling at $1,000, he'd have to come up and hit 7 home runs in the first week for that card to go up, right?
Yeah.
It might get a little bump, but it's not going to go whoosh.
I think as a whole, if the basis of the buy question is based on to profit later, you're not going to go wrong if you can find cheap NXT women autos. Because, I mean, nobody was paying anything for Tiffany Stratton stuff when it came out. Like, you never know. Especially, like, honestly, like, I don't buy Sapphire, but Sapphire has so many NXT autos.
Yeah.
You get one of those cheap letter breaks and you're getting into random NXT women wrestlers or even just random male NXT wrestlers. Like, I think you can kind of get lucky stockpiling some small ones like that. Just the wait and sees.
That's a good plan.
But for me,
stop giving away your secrets.
For me, if I had to choose an actual like wrestler, I've been doing it and it probably will never pay off. So it's not financial advice, but I just have this weird gut feeling about Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. I can't decide which one, maybe more so Austin Theory. I don't know. I think Austin Theory turns face. Like, I think he turns into the LA Knight type, like, push and, like, stardom. He's still far away from it, but
it would be the move. I mean, I could absolutely see it. They run him for long enough. They put him in the right program. They make him look sympathetic. I mean,
yeah. I mean, but hey, don't take financial advice from a Miz fan. So I may not be able to help you very much, but I mean that was mine. But that was a good question.
That was a great question.
Yeah, and the end of it, which we touched on, but he said which inserts, autos, etc., rookie stuff,
downtowns, baby,
low numbered, whatever's rare and desirable if you can.
Who sent that in?
That was Matt McBain from
Matt. You're
Twitter.
The man. Thank you, Matt.
Sure. Our next one, this will be more of a you guys question, but it's from Corey. He said, "Who are your top 5 luchadors, past and present?"
Oh, I am not. Brennan's better at that than me.
So we can compile as a group, but
my lucha history. I hate doing this because we're not going to get. All right, yeah. I'm going to preface this by saying these are favorite luchadors from guys who. Brennan's watched a lot more AAA and CMLL than I have, but this is 3 American dudes' favorite luchadors.
Yeah, like I'm gonna fuck this up, but I can give you my top of my head.
Yeah, I agree.
My top of my head is Psycho Clown. Dr. Wagner Jr.
Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, definitely Rey Mysterio. If we're
Psychosis,
looking kind
Laparca,
of current, I know. So, yeah, Laparca.
Vikingo.
Fuck! Stop! You're fucking me up. I'm such a big Bandito fan. I love Io del Vikingo. I love. I'm just such a big fan of the Beast Mordos. The Beast Mordos is the fucking man. I love everything about him, especially that his Twitter. He has a Twitter, and all he ever says is "raw," because he's a fucking minotaur.
Yeah.
Laparca, Psychosis. There's too many to name. That's my off the top of my head. I think that was 8. And then whatever Nick was shouting that I was agreeing with.
Yeah.
But I do.
Yeah, I don't really have a favorite. Like, I could name you guys that I enjoyed watching growing up. Not necessarily guys whose work rate I was like, oh my god. Like, I mean, obviously Ray and WCW work rate out of this world. Right. All the WCW luchadors, Hoovy, Laparca, Psychosis. They were all fun to watch growing up. Vikingo today is awesome.
Hologram is
Penta and Phoenix. I mean, Penta and Phoenix obviously rock.
No, I didn't even mention Penta. Penta is absolutely in my top 5.
That one just felt like such a cheap shot to say because of his sudden surge with WWE crowds, but like he's always been top notch.
Is my first live Penta match was All In Chicago. But the saddest I've ever been was finding out 3 days after that Penta wrestled the Tejano flea market that is at the old Hickory Ridge Mall.
Yeah, me and Jerry at the card show, Dave's friend, we're talking about that. He goes to that.
Used to be some wild lucha matches over there.
Dude, he showed me the pictures.
My fucking heart.
He showed me the pictures of him and his son with Penta.
Yeah, Penta and Ray were both at that, and
maybe we can ask them to come back.
Yeah,
I think at this point we can get them to wrestle flea market.
Okay, there's one more I want to add too because I think he gets such a bad just break now because of his WWE tenure. But Mystico,
oh, absolutely, love Mystico,
top of the line. And then once he got to WWE, he got known for being a botch guy. But phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm just not versed enough and comfortable enough in Lucha Libre history to give like a definitive, like, I think these are the 5 best luchadors. Like, I don't know enough to answer.
You know what? I'll go ahead and say it. Number 1 with a bullet. Sorry, El Santo. Tijuana legend El Generico.
I was gonna go Grande Americano.
Too far.
How can we forget about Generico, one of my favorite luchadors ever?
I know.
But yeah, that was a good question. That makes me want to study up more on my luchador. That was Corey on Twitter.
Thanks, Corey.
And then our last one was good old Sweet Lou. He said, best current heel on the mic, not counting in-ring ability, just straight promos and talking. Best heel.
MJF, period. In my opinion. MJF.
MJF ran through my head too. I was thinking it.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody else that's more consistent, appealing. What I really like about MJF is that when he gets into cool heel territory, with the exception of the Adam Cole, feud where he kind of got into tweener face mode, which was, he had to lean into that. That was the story. But outside of that, when he gets into cool heel mode, he just shuts it the fuck down.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I hate you. Sorry. You're awful.
I want to say I watched like a 4-hour YouTube video of like the MJF CM Punk feud and the MJF I forgot what the other one was, but it was
Punk feud was
unreal.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, the mic work from him is insane.
I really enjoyed the back and forth with Seth and Paul. I think Seth is crushing right now. Like, I think he's just so on top of it right now. I think he's so good right now.
Yeah, I loved his promo last week with.
I feel like that's such a
Sammy.
Yeah, I feel like that's such a cop-out answer to be like, oh, the main heel in WWE is my favorite heel talker, but like,
well, he's probably the main heel in WWE for a reason.
Yeah. He's putting in good work.
Yeah.
So yeah. I would say Seth, but if we get down to it, I don't know. Cena's putting in good work too. Yeah, I'll say Seth.
I like those are both really good answers. I like they're so different too. Like the MJF, like I don't know that obviously he couldn't do his normal shtick on a WWE mic,
sure.
Right.
But it works for AEW. It's perfect for what it is in AEW and like electric entertainment wise. And then Seth, I've always loved Seth. I think he's super underrated on the mic because he gets into the unlucky cliche song and everybody just thinks of that. But
yeah. We forgot about the best heel on the mic, guys.
Who?
The Pander Champ?
Charlotte.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. If there's somebody, and that's, she gets legit heat out of me.
Yeah. It's a little X-Pac heat. It's a little X-Pac heat.
I think my favorite at the moment, I don't even know, honestly, maybe best at the moment for me, and it's Karrion Kross.
Oh, so good. That promo he cut on the after Raw or whatever.
Yeah. I've always been a fan of that.
It's like that Miz pipe bomb.
Exactly. It's like the hyper realism in a promo.
Yeah.
Where it kind of toes the line and it's not like it suspends your disbelief like it's supposed to do in wrestling.
There's a moment when he's cutting that Scarlett's genuinely like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Calm down.
And I mean, that's probably us getting worked, but that's what I want.
Of course.
I want to be worked.
Yeah. And I've always liked the intricate like promos, like the Bray Wyatt riddles, but the ones that made sense.
So that's the only problem that's my only problem with Bray is that me and Brennan have talked about this before, and I hope Karrion Kross doesn't go in the same direction. Sometimes they take it too far.
Yeah,
and it's just like masturbatory at some point. It's like, oh, more riddles.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, and I like that because I thought Kross was going to go that way a little bit, but it's been more realistic and more relatable lately, but still in the same style that he's been trying. And I think it's really going to get him over. So
I love Karrion Kross. I have a hard time. I have a hard time even viewing what he's doing currently as being a heel.
Yeah.
You know, and he has the. I like that he's kind of picked up the part of what the Bray mantle was, which is like he talks like you were rude to a gypsy. Like
it's a bit of a comeback to the remember the Sean O'Haire Devil's Advocate gimmick that never got off the ground that had
yes
killer promos.
Yep.
It's kind of a throwback, like a little bit to that, if I remember.
Yeah.
That's very cool. If you notice, Karrion wears his hair in the same style as the person he's talking to.
Yep.
Yes. It's cool shit.
I love it.
Yeah.
Little Easter eggs.
Yeah, I love that stuff. So, that's what I'm gonna go with
Scarlett
right now.
Wrestle, for the love of God.
Yeah, this is like the third time we've brought that up over 7 episodes. Let Scarlett wrestle.
Keep bringing up. Let Scarlett wrestle. She's great.
But yeah, that wraps it up for our Twitter questions this week.
We had 3. 3 is still good.
Those were nice, thought-provoking questions.
We're up. We're all the way up.
We're turned.
We've consistently had questions on the show.
Yeah, I'm very impressed.
We really appreciate you guys for sending in questions.
You guys rock.
We will keep begging for them. I've got a little bit of a draft for you fellas this evening.
Good. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So Backlash is coming up this weekend. And I don't know if anybody remembers one of my favorite wrestling crash outs in 2006.
Wait. There we go.
This is the Joey Styles Backlash Memorial Draft. I don't know if anyone remembers. Joey Styles was deemed not qualified to call Backlash. I'm not good enough to call Backlash. So, with that in mind, I wanted to ask you boys top 3 favorite commentators.
All right.
So, I feel like this this needs the same disclaimer as I haven't listened to a whole lot of Gordon Sully. So
sure. Yeah, this is going for us. Yeah. Look, we're all in
Gorilla was before my time too,
we're all in our 30s. We know what we know. It is what it is. Actually go ahead and talk shit on us on Twitter. That's fun.
Or in the comments, because
comments.
Feel free to comment and let us know that we suck eggs.
Yeah. Tell us your favorite 3 broadcasters.
Yeah. Seeing as how you are the Dirt Skunk Pander champ, I believe Jeffrey has the
So I'm just counting my rings right now for how many times I've won.
Yeah. It's not all of them. Nick got you once.
No, he didn't. No, I don't think I did.
I'm undefeated, baby.
Is it really?
Yeah. I am the Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Okay,
Dog, I got 1 vote. I got 1 vote this week, and it was me.
Hell yeah!
It makes me. I can't vote for myself anymore. I got to rack up some more zeros.
If you get enough zeros, you'll get the sympathy votes, and they'll start piling on.
Yeah. We'll just go. Are we going with our 3 favorite or the 3 best? Just our 3 favorite.
3 favorite.
Okay, that's we got that.
So it'll be me, Nick, Brennan.
Nick.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all are gonna call me a panderer, but
I already know.
JR.
Yeah,
JR's number one.
No, I was literally about to say, Jeffrey, you go ahead and call JR, and then Nick can get.
Well, I know I'm not going to win this one because my number one pick is Dave Brown.
Oh, based.
God, that's
based.
Let's go.
Dave Brown, the voice of Memphis wrestling for my youth after Lance Russell retired.
Hell yeah.
I was going to go with Lance, but am I echoing? By the way,
no, you're not echoing. Not in my headset.
I was going to go with Lance Russell, but I listened to more Dave Brown.
Yeah.
So Dave Brown, number one for me. That was my Saturdays growing up.
Hell yeah, good pick.
Channel 5 Wrestling.
Like that.
For me, Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone was I started with WCW. Loved Tony Schiavone. Missed him for years. And now he's with AEW, and he makes me as happy as he did when I was a kid.
Okay, you go again.
Second, damn, this is another one. I'm more middle childhood, later. That's now part of my life again. Taz.
That's a good pick.
One of the best from WWE. He did some commentary in ECW, but WWE, ECW, AEW, everything Taz does. Second pick Jones. I love that man to death.
I will see your Schiavone on WCW and raise you Bobby the Brain.
Good pick.
Because I have never laughed harder watching wrestling than when Bobby Heenan was on commentary.
Oh yeah.
So always a fun time. So Bobby Heenan, number 2.
I'm gonna go Paul Heyman. I just listen to that man talk forever. And he's obviously not known as well for commentating as he is everything else he's done, but Paul Heyman, man. And then number 3, which I never thought I would say, but after this point, it's Michael Cole. Because he's been crapped on for so long, but like that man is damn good. Like, I don't know what WWE would sound like right now without Michael Cole. Like,
and especially now that Vince is gone. I remember there was this talk for a while. WWE did a live pay-per-view. Well, it was on the network. Beast in the East. I think it was.
I remember that.
2016, 2015.
From Tokyo, right?
Yeah. Ferg and Kevin Owens. And but Michael Cole, everybody was just so blown away by how well Michael Cole did. And the prevailing theory was Vince isn't in his ear. It was taking place at 3:00 in the morning in the US. And his commentary was just fantastic. And I always think about that now with good Michael Cole calls, because he's I think he's doing some of the best commentary he's done in his career in the last couple of years.
It's awesome.
It's mostly because you don't have a droided out fucking freak yelling at you in your ear. Godspeed, Michael Cole. No, that's a good call.
My number 3, Corey Graves. I really like Corey Graves. I think he's really, really good.
Yeah.
And he does really good at the best commentators. And the first time I ever heard somebody really do this was when I started watching PWG. And Excalibur was on commentary. And like, obviously spot fest matches. Like there's going to be, mistakes and stuff. But he was the first commentator I ever saw that really like could cover up a mistake and be like, oh, well, he just missed that, or he just barely caught enough of that. And Corey Graves does that really well. Like he rolls with the mistakes. It's just very smooth.
Instead of sticking to the script and acting like it all happened as it's supposed to.
It's very smooth. I just think he's really good at what he does.
Yeah. For me, my third one, I'm gonna call it my diet soda. Best in the ring, best on the mic, best on that commentary table. CM Punk is my third one.
That's
CM
a pander champ right there.
CM Punk makes me laugh so hard every time he's on commentary. He did the same in AEW. He does it in WWE. He's always, that dude pops me every single time he's on commentary.
That's a name I wasn't ready for in this draft.
I know. No, and honestly, I was about to call somebody else, and I was like, no, Punk is so
We've already lost. We've already lost. Jeffrey's already won, so
yeah. It was that's. I'm not going to go into the politics of the draft segment.
If you're still watching this far in the video, please leave a Panda Champ wins LOL in the comments.
If we get
press S to spit.
If 15,000 people comment that, I'll get it tattooed.
Oh my god, dude, that's our viral moment. I'm clipping that. Yep. Wait.
Worth it. But I can't believe that three guys from Memphis just did a commentator draft, and no one took Jerry Lawler.
The king.
There's a good reason
about it. I thought about it, but
I thought about it too. But he was more of a comedic relief for me.
Right. Yeah. I'm not a Jerry hater. But I'd say in the top 5 things that he's done wrong, I would say like number 5 is his commentary. He's done some worse things than his commentary, but I do not enjoy his commentary. Okay. I grew up as a WCW kid.
Yeah, he was a good compliment to JR, but
that's
after that,
thing. Yeah, as a he's a great he knew his role, and he shut his mouth. No, that didn't work because he was talking on commentary. No, he knew his role and he did it well, I think. He was comedic relief. It worked out well.
That'll work.
Punk better.
Best in the world.
Best in the world. So what do you guys think?
What'd you boys learn this week?
What did I learn?
Any important rules of life? Or I learned that I want to start collecting signed wrestling rookie cards because Brian's shit was just so cool, and I can't stop thinking about it.
And I didn't even realize High Spots did that. I didn't realize you could send stuff in for cards.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to hopefully purchase some 1982 All-Star autographs off of him, so that could be very cool.
Hell yeah.
So I learned that that's what I really want. I want some. Anybody else?
Well, I already mentioned it, but since you bring that up, I do want to learn more. I learned that I want to learn more about the vintage and the just the origins of wrestling cards, and because I mean I'm modern at heart for all sports. Like it's just my age, my era. That's I've never really been into the older stuff, but I think with with wrestling, not even just in cards, but like I have the urge to go back and get more into it because like I enjoy watching old wrestling, like old pay-per-views, old everything. So
it's so funny that we're talking about old of stuff in like 82, and then when I'm in baseball and I'm talking old, I'm talking stuff from like 1910.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a very big difference in old between the different sports.
Yeah.
But yeah, I pick up what you're saying. Like I am more knowledgeable now than I was, but I'm still nowhere near as knowledgeable as I would like to be.
Yeah.
About stuff like, let's say pre-90, like pre-1990 stuff. Like that's what I really want to.
I think wrestling is just unique in the fact that I don't know. You're talking baseball, like if you want to go back and learn the history of baseball, yes, obviously that's cool. But in wrestling, you have everything because it's scripted. It's canon. Like it's literally the origin of the story you're still watching,
Right.
to a degree. Like everything stemmed from something else, so like going back can just like piece the puzzle like however, and I think that's cool to just in general go back. So that's what I'm gonna get into.
Yeah. Project Pata. I learned that I am, after spending a day in a gymnasium with the two of y'all, I am the shortest one of the three of us. And I'm a shoot 6 foot, and that doesn't happen a lot. And we'd never like all kind of stood near each other. And I was like, damn, look at you boys.
I never noticed that.
Yeah.
I mean, I noticed. I know I'm taller than you. I guess I just never.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't looking down that often while I was there, so I didn't see.
It's not you're not short.
No, I'm 6 foot tall.
I'm 6'1", so
I'm like 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, no, Nick's a shoot 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. Jeffrey is about 6'8".
Jeffrey's 8'4" with a size 73 shoe.
It's true. It's damn true.
No, so you know the weird thing, guys. We all wear the same shoe size.
Are you a 13, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I'm a 13.
Let's go. Let's go, boys.
All right, it's time for the outro at this point.
Fellas, thank you guys. Everybody that's watching, thank you guys so much for sticking with us. Thank you for watching. If you could give the video a like, add a comment if you want. If you can subscribe, hit that notification bell. We'd really appreciate it.
I reply to comments.
Yeah, Nick, Jeffrey,
we reply to comments.
An absolute pleasure once again. Episode 7 in the books.
It's been a hoot.
7 weeks total hoot.
7 down, 700, and
no, we're gonna do this until the sky is on fire.
To quote my favorite comic currently, I ain't never gonna stop.
Ain't never gonna stop.
Little William Montgomery for all of you Kill Tony fans out there. All right, I'm out. Brennan, send us off.
Love y'all.
Send us off.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.